Hey, MSG is naturally occurring in a lot of different foods. MSG, or monosodium glutamate, is even just sometimes called a flavor enhancer, but it produces a reaction from your taste buds that gives sort of a delicious savoriness. It will even produce a salivary response. But MSG does occur naturally in many foods like mushrooms or tomatoes. Tomatoes have glutamic acid, which when combined with the natural sodium in the tomato, produces the monosodium glutamate. But glutamic acid will also naturally happen in a fermentation process, like when making sauerkraut, kimchi, or any other list of fermented foods. Then when that glutamic acid combines with the natural occurring sodium in the food or in the recipe, it creates monosodium glutamate. Glutamic acid also happens in cheese making process, especially with harder cheeses like Parmesan cheese. Similarly to the fermentation process, during the cheese making process, bacteria and yeast will consume carbohydrates and sugars, both in fermenting and in cheese making, producing glutamic acid as a byproduct. Then again, it mixes with the natural sodium that occurs in the dairy, producing monosodium glutamate, naturally occurring in this cheese. And cheese is a really good example because if you take a bite of this Parmesan cheese, it will induce a salivary response and you'll get this sort of delicious salty weight in your mouth. But similarly, in many Asian preparations like soy sauce, or this is oyster sauce, you have the presence of glutamic acid and the natural sodium, again producing monosodium glutamate. But glutamate also comes in the form of an amino acid, which happens in things like anchovies, a lot of shellfish, and even seaweed. Then when that amino acid combines with the natural sodium in the food, you again end up with monosodium glutamate. You can buy MSG to add to your foods just like this. I am not attached to any of these brands, but if you look at the ingredients on this bottle, the only ingredient is monosodium glutamate. I will say I have heard of MSG triggering headaches for some people, but there's a lot of inaccurate information out there. And there are many cultures that add MSG to their food or use lots of different ingredients that contain natural MSG, and we don't see long-term health consequences with these cultures. So if you're up for some fun, maybe pick up some MSG to play with, and follow me if you're already salty enough.